an important problem, which is actually the motion of a single particle, or you may say deduction of Newton's second law of motion from Lagrange equation. So for this, let us consider a rectangular coordinate system, that is Cartesian coordinate system, and we consider the coordinate axes as x, y and z, and a particle of mass is in motion, or at any time t the particle is at a point P, say in space, and x, y, z are the Cartesian coordinate of this point, and you may say r is the position vector of this particle, and mass of the particle is m. I imagine it. So if x, y, z are the position coordinates of this particle, then in Cartesian these Cartesian coordinate will behave like generalized coordinate, and so the generalized velocity will be simply the time derivatives of these coordinates. Since we have considered the three space coordinate to describe the configuration of the particle, so this particle has 3 degrees of freedom. So assume a particle of mass m moving in 3D space at t equal to t, any time t, it is at a point, say P, whose space coordinates are x, y, z. So what is degree of freedom of this particle? As it is in 3D motion, so degrees of freedom is what? This f will be equal to 3, and these x, y, z are its 3 generalized coordinates. So the generalized velocities are, you know, total time derivative of generalized coordinates are generalized velocity. So this velocity will be what? This will be x dot, y dot and z dot. These are the generalized velocity of this particle. Hence, kinetic energy of the particle. Kinetic energy of the particle. T will be what? This will be half m x dot square plus y dot square plus z dot square. This is kinetic energy of our particle. Now from here we can see that the partial derivative of t with respect to x, with respect to y and with respect to z, all three will be 0, because in the expression of t there is no x, y, z. So del t del x, del t del y and del t del z, all these three will be 0. And at the same time, what is del t del x dot del t del x dot, this will be, see here, half m 2x dot, and so this is mx dot, mx dot. Similarly, del t del y dot, this will be half m times 2y dot, and so this is my dot. And del t del z dot, this is half m times 2z dot, and this will be mz dot. Now, the Lagrange equation of motion we write in general form. In which manner? We have studied it, Lagrange equation in generalized coordinates qk. Lagrange equation in generalized coordinates qk. How we write in general form this equation? This is d dt del t by del qk dot minus del t by del qk. This is general form, and this equal to qk. You know, actually this is the kth component of generalized force. In this case, these qk means what? These are in fact x, y and z, and this qk, that is generalized force, this is kth component of generalized force, so that will be in fact fx, fy, fz. So you may write if fx, fy, fz are the generalized forces along x, y, z axis respectively. Then Lagrange equation of motion R. What will be the equation of motion for x direction? That will be d dt del t by del x dot minus del t by del x, and this equal to fx. Say this is A. Now for y direction, the equation of motion will be d dt del t by del y dot minus del t by del y, this will be fy. Say it is equation B. And next is d dt del t by del z dot minus del t by del z, and this is fz. Say this is equation 3. This is equation 3. Now we have already found these partial derivatives in above calculation. So substituting for the partial derivatives, when we will substitute for partial derivatives, what will be our result? The result will be d dt mx dot equal to fx, because del t del x is 0, and so this implies what? Fx is equal to m x double dot, fx equal to m x double dot. Again, the next equation will be d dt, see here, m y dot, this equal to fy, because this is 0, and del t by del y dot is my dot. So what is fy? Fy is equal to my double dot, and the last equation will be d dt mz dot, not double dot, mz dot, and this is equal to fz, and so this implies fz equal to mz double dot. This is equation 4. So what we find? These are in fact second law of motion of Newton in a scalar form. We may write these three scalar equations in a single equation in vector form. So in vector form, we will write the net force acting on the particle F equal to Fxi plus Fyj plus Fzk. And now substitute the value of Fx, Fy, Fz as found in above equation. We will take m common, and this will be x double dot I plus y double dot j plus z double dot k, and this is equal to m r double dot, and r double dot, this is acceleration. In fact, you may say this is mass times acceleration a, or we may write it as F equal to dp by dt. In fact, this is Newton's second law of motion. You may understand it like this. This is m dv dt, and since mass is a constant in classical mechanics, so we may write it as d dt mv. And what this mv is? mv is the linear momentum of the particle. So I have written here p instead of mv, and this is Newton's second law of motion. This is second law of motion. So you have seen that how we can find Newton's second law of motion by using Lagrange equation of motion. So that's all for today. We will